everyone, welcome to Good Morning KU. I'm Leticia Couto.
And I'm Cameron Finley.
And today, so the first thing that we have to talk about is this new feature on Snapchat.
And I've got to say, I saw this feature a couple of weeks before it came out. We had it back in Australia as a separate app. And if you don't know what we're talking about, I'm going to hold it up right here. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a face swap feature.
Yeah, what do you think about that?
I mean, when I saw it back home, I saw it firstly with like my 20-year-old friend and a 2-year-old baby, and that terrified me. I think I had nightmares for the next week. But you know, it really was like, okay, this is kind of novel, but now everyone's doing it, so it's kind of annoying.
Yeah, and I mean, I feel if you swap your faces with another human being, it's slightly better. But then when you swap faces with, I don't know, bricks and walls and balloons like the picture that we just saw, it's just weird. It upsets me a lot. And I keep getting Snapchats of random people doing that, and it just drives me crazy. Yeah.
I've actually seen someone try and do it with like an athlete on TV, and that just made their face look like it was pixelated, and then the other face on the TV looked perfectly normal. So that was also...
Yeah, there are all kinds of terrifying things that you can do with this new feature. I hope you guys like it. I know that clearly we had issues with it. It's terrifying, and it's following us in our nightmares.
But I mean, Snapchat's been doing stuff like this for a while. They had like the rainbow vomit. Like, they do cool stuff.
Yeah, I like the videos, you know, that like, the one that they look like wedge, and the one that they look, the rainbow one. I think it's cute. I don't know, but this one is just...
a little out there for us.
Yeah, and then tomorrow we have senior day at Allen Fieldhouse.
I know, last regular game of the season. It's going to be exciting. Last time you'll get to see Perry Ellis in the Fieldhouse if you're going, and the rest of the seniors, of course. I actually found out we're starting all 5 seniors, so that'll be an interesting start to the game.
That will definitely be an interesting start to the game. I don't think I've ever seen that, so that's going to be... Yeah, I particularly sometimes have issues with the start lineup, so this type of thing is going to be a little bit more different. But yeah, don't miss the chance of going and see all the seniors playing one last time in Allen Fieldhouse. God knows when they're going to be back there.
I know, exactly. And I mean, like I said, it's Perry Ellis's last game, and I haven't been here for very long, but from what I've heard, Perry Ellis might actually be the most popular man on campus, apart from Bill Self. So,
that's true.
I mean, if you can get along, not that I'm saying don't go to the caucus, by the way, but if you can get along, you should go, and it's going to be pretty impressive.
And it's going to be a good game because it's against Iowa State. So.
Yeah, exactly. They always bring their A game against Kansas, and we're going to go undefeated in the Fieldhouse if we win. So, I mean, that's pretty important as well.
Yeah, that's right.
I was going to say, speaking of the caucus, they had the GOP debates last night on Fox. And again, not being from here, and you're not from here either, it was a little bit of an experience, I guess. People weren't really talking about politics.
I know. First thing that it's really different from back home, it's that people actually watch the debates. So that's the first thing. There's like, oh, people actually pay attention to this. That's cool. But then it made sense. The reason they watch it, it's exactly because they don't discuss politics.
I was going to say, back home, people would watch the debate for about 20 minutes because that's where they get all the key issues out of the way. And then, yeah, most people tune out. But here, it's like a comedy show. Like, it's literally live comedy for an hour. So.
I know, right? And it's really a comedy show, as I said.
Yeah, I mean... like, there's videos online where people just take like highlights of the debate, and I still don't know what anyone's policy is like.
Yeah, and it's so full of fallacies. It's just one after the other. How many times I heard yesterday that certain things were okay to do just because everybody else did them? And I'm like, that's not how it works. This is still a bad thing. Just because somebody else doesn't mean that you should do it.
Yeah, and I mean, we saw Ben Carson drop out of the race this week, but there was a debate last week where he was actually asking people to make fun of him or attack him so that he could talk. So, I mean, that just shows you pretty much how crazy it's getting, where people want to be attacked to get some time.
Yeah, and it was also interesting in another part that I saw right after it that actually Kasich had more time. He talked for a longer time than Rubio did, and I thought that was really interesting too. Yeah, I just thought that was an interesting thing that happened.
And I mean, it is interesting because a lot of people will say, oh yeah, Trump's been winning these debates. But I was reading an article where they were saying, like, debate coaches say Trump might be the worst person at debating out of all four of them. It's just that he draws so much attention to himself with the ridiculous things that he says that everyone tunes in to listen. So that's, you know, a little out there for both of us, obviously. I mean, we were talking to the American students and yeah, it's they're terrified, we're terrified, everyone's kind of terrified at the moment. But Bernie Sanders was in town yesterday, so that was encouraging. I know everyone was excited to have him around. Did you go?
I didn't. I had class and I had lots of things going on, but I heard it was absolutely fantastic. He's really good with an younger audience.
Yeah.
So that was really good. I had several friends that were freaking out because he was here, and I didn't have many face swapping Snapchats of Bernie Sanders, but I did have lots of regular Snapchats of Bernie Sanders around Lawrence, so that was pretty cool.
Well, I heard a couple of people fainted at the event just from seeing him come out. The other thing that happened was we went out for dinner last night after the event, and I think I heard at least 3 times people call themselves Bernie to try and get the chef to like come out and be like, oh my goodness, Bernie Sanders is in my restaurant. And apparently every time he was highly disappointed because Bernie Sanders wasn't on Mass Street at 11 o'clock at night eating burgers. But I mean, feeling the burn seemed to sweep Lawrence for, you know, a 24-hour period yesterday. And it'll be interesting to see how that goes forward. Obviously, Kansas is a pretty Republican state, so it's probably not going to make a huge difference. But I did find it interesting how behind him the college students were.
That's really true. I agree with you in that. It's just interesting to see also we so invested in politics. Yeah.
I mean, like we were discussing with some of the Americans earlier, why did we know so much about politics? It just affects so many people around the world. So yeah, I mean, it's amazing that we know so much about it, but I think it's also necessary for us to know just as people of the world.
That's really true.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, when the caucus is this weekend, same time as the game. And like I said, I'm not discouraging you from going to the caucus, but you should go to the game if you get a chance. And I mean, are you going to the game?
I don't know yet. I have to figure that out. I do have tickets, but as for right now, I don't know if I can go or not. But I hope I can. After this, I really hope I can.
Cool. Well, speaking of wrapping up, we'll be going to the break now. And after the break, we'll be back with Letty and a special guest.
Where you go to college makes a statement about you. This place will become a part of you, your identity for life. The University of Kansas. A great place to be you.
Hello back, everyone. I hope you had a good break. So here I'm with a really special guest. I'm with Dallas Milligan, our director, who is so fantastic that he's here right now and directing the show at the same time. How awesome is that?
I know, I'm just that talented. No, we got to give credit to Brianna over there. She does a great job.
Yeah.
So, but.
Okay, so he's admitting he's not that
Yes,
great.
yes. I'm just, okay, subpar is what I strive for. That's the main goal.
So how are you today, Dallas?
I'm fantastic. It's Friday, a little early for me. But,
That's true.
I mean, we're still here, and it's just a great time. Love being here at Media Crossroads. So how about you?
I'm really good, actually. I don't have classes today, so I like to.
Oh my God, you're lucky.
Yes,
You're lucky.
I do that on purpose. So I heard you work in Stauffer-Flint with the lab, right?
Yes, I'm a desk assistant along with 3 other people that we all go there, work with Heather Lorenz, and we pretty much monitor all the labs, 101, 105, 107, all in Stauffer-Flint. Everybody has access to the labs. Everybody has access. That is in the journalism school. I'm there usually from 5 to 10 on Wednesdays, but I'm also there during Tuesdays during the school day as well, because Heather can't be there all the time. But mainly we're always there to help anybody with video projects. J300s have, they've been doing resumes and stuff. I don't know if anybody's in it. Things like that. We basically are there to give a helping hand just to make sure that everything goes smoothly for them so they can get the good grade in the journalism school.
That's fantastic. I was about to say, if I believe that J300 students come by a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially considering that it's just a InDesign heavy class.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be the biggest thing. We would have J300 kids because J300 is mainly for some of these students. You know, I was a freshman last year. That was, you know, luckily I had experience with InDesign in high school, but a lot of people didn't have any InDesign experience before going into that class. And so they just walked in there and they're like, how do I even look at this software and make it work? So that's what we're there for, and that's what Heather's there for. You can schedule a meeting with Heather. You can go onto JSchool Tech on Twitter and schedule anything you want with her. We are there all the time from 5 to 10. We're trying to help everybody out, all these people, so they can get this experience. And that's our biggest thing. Our main concern, we don't try to touch the mouse, I'm sorry. We want everybody to learn it on themselves so they don't have to come to us every time.
Yeah. Oh, that's really nice. Have you ever had any funny stories involving your job, like something you're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening?
Funny stories? I don't know about funny stories. It's busy all the time. No, that's the joke. Sometimes we get packed and we have like 20, 30 people come in during my 5-hour shift. But I would say it's kind of dead most times. That's, I kind of keep to myself. Cal comes in and gives me crap all the time, but it's all right. It's a lot of fun. It's nothing too crazy goes on, nothing too hectic. I get to do my homework. I get to help other people with their homework, and it's a great job to have. It's a really great job to have.
That sounds like a really great job. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Oh, no problem.
And stay with us for our news segment after this.
We gotta do it. We gotta do it.
Welcome back. I'm Eric Nelson.
And I'm Austin Gehring. This is your Good Morning KU news update. An enthusiastic crowd of more than 4,000 people attended a rally for President hopeful Bernie Sanders yesterday at the Douglas County Fairgrounds. Sanders discussed his issues ranging from health care, student loans, to big business and criminal justice system. Earlier in the day, Sanders got himself a haircut on Mass Street and visited several other local businesses. The Kansas caucus is tomorrow.
Donald Trump continues to be the frontrunner for the Republican nomination for president. Ted Cruz, Marco Rubio, and John Kasich have all stated that they would support Trump if he goes on to become the nominee. Trump also said he would support whoever wins the party nomination.
Former Wichita University Vice President Wade Robinson has sued his former university, claiming he was fired in retaliation for voicing his concerns about handling of a rape accusation made against a basketball player. The alleged incident occurred just after the 2013 Final Four NCAA tournament, but no charges were filed.
The U.S. Department of Labor has released results of recent job growth in the United States. Employers added 242,000 new jobs in February, keeping the unemployment rate at a steady 4.9%. The report also said that spending at restaurants has risen more than 6% in the past 12 months.
Super Bowl MVP Von Miller will be taking his sack dance to Hollywood. The Denver Bronco defensive star will be a contestant on the next season of ABC's Dancing with the Stars. Miller says he dances all the time at practice and likes to give the younger generation something to follow.
The KU baseball team lost a heartbreaker yesterday at Hoagland Ballpark. After blowing a 4-run lead and then trailing by 6 runs going into the bottom of the ninth, the Jayhawks managed to score 5 before coming up short against BYU. The Cougars hit 3 home runs on the way to an 11-10 victory. The two teams will meet again today, with first pitch coming at 3 p.m.
Perry Ellis will play his final game in Allen Fieldhouse tomorrow afternoon. KU will take on Iowa State at 3 p.m. in Allen Fieldhouse, and the game will be followed by senior speeches from seniors Ellis, Evan Manning, Hunter Mickelson, and Jamari Traylor. It will also be the final home game for longtime announcer Bob Davis.
And that will wrap it up for today's news update. Stay tuned after the break.
Where you go to college makes a statement about you. This place will become a part of you, your identity for life. The University of Kansas, a great place to be you.
Hi, welcome back to Good Morning KU. I'm Gabby Gomez with your weather forecast. As we take a look back at this past week, we've been pretty much around average. Yesterday our high was 56, low of 29, not much above. As we take a look at today's forecast, mostly sunny, high 67. Beautiful day outside, go out, enjoy it. Slight wind with 16 miles per hour south. And as we take a look at into the weekend and the beginning of next week, we will continue to warm up into the beginning of next week. Chance of rain Sunday and Monday, 70, high 71. And Tuesday will go down just a bit, back down to 68. And that will be all for our show today. We hope you guys enjoyed. Go out and enjoy this beautiful weather before it starts to rain again this weekend. Go to the baseball game at 3 o'clock today, and we'll see you next week.